way, you know how I can tell we're assholes?
Why is that?
We plan, oh, this is 15 minutes. We'll get through this, have plenty of time to talk about it. We're 1 minute and 49 seconds in, and we're 22 minutes into the show. It's neither one of us to shut the fuck up.
Let the man speak.
Yeah, let him speak. Go ahead, Patrick. Go ahead and make some more hand gestures.
S&P and Dow just go boom, 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 which is called a reverse market crash. Something the wealthy would want, not something you would want for low and middle America. We're going to talk about that today. Okay, so if you get value out of this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Let's get right into it. I'm going to give you a few examples of what a reverse market crash could look like. Case studies, actual reality, what happened. One is Germany, one is Zimbabwe, one is Iran, one is Argentina, one is Turkey, and maybe a couple other ones. But let's start off with Germany. So back in the days...
Pause.
Can't let him go.
Zimbabwe?
What are we doing?
Iran?
I feel like those aren't apples to apples.
I'll give you Germany, bro, but goddamn, okay. Look, it's economics, fine. You've had similar experiences in the United States historically. I don't think you need to go to a foreign country. But you know what, Patrick? He may surprise me.
Right.
He may surprise me.
He may surprise you. I mean, to his point, so I had this written down for something entirely different. But what kind of scares you, right, is this. So the 10-year went up to, it was at like damn near 5%, right? For not too long ago.
It was over 5%.
It was over 5%, right? So remember, when that goes up, people now start to question whether they should keep their money invested in the market, or should I just have my money invested in something like the 10-year where I get guaranteed 5% back, right? It's like, so now people start to question that. But now, when that happened, okay, there was approximately $5.7 trillion sitting in money market accounts. Okay?
Yep.
People waiting to get back and invest into the market. Now imagine when the rates start to come down and people now take that $5.7 trillion, maybe not all of it, but a good portion of it, and put it back into the market when in a time when you're having an earnings recession. Right? It could prop the market back up again. That's the scary part. And I think that's what he might be alluding to.
So I've talked to several reporters about this in recent days because they're already kind of sensing it. So they're talking to people in the finance space about, hey, where does the money go?
Yeah.
Because people are going, okay, the treasuries are dropping. So now you have the 10-year below 4%. People are going, okay, well, where do you put your money? Well, CDs right now, they're capped out. This is the highest CD rate you're going to get. Okay. So you go into a CD now for 12 months. That might delay some of that money going into the market because you can get a guaranteed zero risk 5.4%, 5 point whatever percent.
Yes.
Not a bad deal.
But your money's locked in there for X amount of time.
Your money's locked in. Your high yield savings account will stay high, presumably until there's a Fed funds rate cut, and then at which time rates will drop, and your rate will go down with that.
And the banks don't have to tell you that they're going to drop it, right?
No, you'll see it on your statement. You'll be like, what in the fuck?
I was just earning 5%.
It's going to be that, right? Yeah. And then as long as they're not at risk of your money going someplace else for a higher interest rate, and it's relatively stable in the market, this is happening. And you're already seeing this cut now because here's what banks are doing. Okay, we're going to drop our long-term CD rates now because we know that there's going to be rate cuts in the future.
Yes.
Right? So why would we keep them high now and lock into 5.4% when I could lock you into like 5.25% for a year and get ahead of that first rate cut?
So explain that to people. So if right now the Fed funds rate is at 5.25 to 5.5%, right?
Right.
And the savings account rates are, up there too. When the Fed cuts rates, why would the savings rates come down as well?
So the Fed funds rate is the cost for banks to borrow.
Right.
Right? So if I'm a bank and I say, okay, my cost of funds to borrow is 5.25%.
Yes.
It costs me the same amount to give you 5.25% and get rates in than it does to borrow that money.
Right.
Right. So for me, I'm going to go up to about that rate, if not a little higher, to try to get deposits in the door. Right. And if you're willing to keep your money for longer, I'm willing to go higher than that. Okay. And sometimes bank pressure will push that up higher like we've seen recently. But the second it's cheaper to borrow, if it's cheaper to borrow, let's say they cut the Fed funds rate to 5%, right?
Right.
And it's cheaper for me to borrow. I'm going to borrow that money and offer you that price or less.
Yes.
Because I can borrow for that price.
And they have to maintain their profit margins.
Right. And every step down we go in deposit pricing gives me a wider profit margin because loan rates are going to stay higher for longer.
Right. And another reason why the Fed likes to take their time before they do decide to make a cut like that, because they can't create all that instability in the market where, oh, we're cutting rates. Oh, no, wait, we got to take it back up again. Oh, no, that's not what they want to do.
So I didn't realize what the vernacular that he was using in this was reverse market crash was referring to this phenomenon, but It's kind of funny. Now I got people have been asking us about it because we've actually been talking about this in the show without recognizing that that's the vernacular he was using to describe it.